Hey guys, what is up? Pixels here. In today's video, we are doing the final class breakdown for Evil Dead the game on the survivor side. So the last one is support, and support characters are really fun to play, especially if you get sick of doing the type of like DPS type of role. Running support's a lot of fun. It's a totally different playstyle, and I'll explain it as I'm going along. But yeah, let's begin anyways. So the first things that we always say is the synopsis, that the little that it says over the support class. So support class survivors start with a Shem's Cola. For those of you who don't know what Shem's Cola is, that's the health of the game. Basically, they're like the med kits, An amulet. Amulets are based around giving you shield. And they can carry more Shem's Cola and obviously more amulets. If Shems or amulets are used, survivors in your aura also gain the positive effects. So, playing support, it doesn't matter who you play. Every character will always give the benefit to the team, which is really good. But it also, each character has their own abilities and stuff, and we'll get into those. But basically, yeah, like I was saying, it's a totally different play style playing support. Most of the time, when you play warrior, you're just going straight head on into fights, just swinging whatever weapon you have, going absolutely ham with DPS. Leader, you can be a bit more technical, you can choose when to use your ability to best benefit the team in the fights. And Hunter, you kind of want to stay back a bit and obviously use the range. So with support, it's a bit different. What I tend to do with support was I paid attention a lot to the health bars on the bottom left of the screen. And what I did was, every time I needed health myself, I'd run next to people and I'd drink the cola, and they'd always gain like a lot of benefit from it. Or it would be the same with the shield as well. So, it's deciding when the best to use these items, because they can be quite limited early game. But later on in the game, once you've got your characters leveled up, you can carry more of these as well. So you can carry a lot more supplies and stuff like that. But anyways, let's begin. Alright, so Evil Dead 1 Ash is the first character on the support class that you can play as. So his first perk is called Reassuring Presence. When activated, this ability reduces fear levels for you and your nearby teammates. It has a 50 fear reduction, which is really nice, and it has a 60-second cooldown. So I really like this perk. I think it's great because a lot of people don't manage their fear quite well in this game. And, fear levels can spike up quite a lot, and people don't realize how fast it goes up, especially, if you're playing, going off solo, your fear levels will go up quite a lot, if you have heard me mention this in previous videos. But basically, yeah, he hits, if you hit B on the controller, you see that your entire team has like a really high fear level. He will reduce that by 50, which I think is a really nice perk and a really, really good ability for this guy to have. His second perk is called Alternative Healing. Successful heavy melee attacks, partially restore health for you and your nearby teammates. Damage restored as health is 20%. So depending on what type of damage you do with this guy. So basically, if you have a two-handed weapon or something, you're going to do a lot more damage. And, if you're swinging this with the heavy melee attack, I think that's a really good thing. With Lord Arthur buffs up heavy melee attack damage as well. So, you'll be doing a lot more damage. So I think this guy could have good chemistry with Lord Arthur as well, because, you'll do more damage with the heavy melee attacks, which will then obviously restore a lot more health for your team. So, it's always 20% of the damage that you've done. So, I think it's a good perk. I haven't really, tested it out because I didn't really get to play much of him in the beta, but, I think it's a good perk to start off with as well. The sad thing is this guy's next two perks are kind of lackluster, and I thought it would kind of bring him up, to a good level if he had some better perks. But, they could change this. I hope they do change it rather than it based around what the mechanic is. But anyways, at level 10, you unlock mark target damage. So headshots will mark the target. A follow-up shot from a teammate will deal additional damage, and the damage is 30%. Reading that out, and, trying to just play that in my head, what scenario is that going to be beneficial? Like trying to headshot someone on this game, it's not difficult, but, it can be, it's not something that occurs all the time. So, you're not going to get much use out of this ability. And then you've got to coordinate with a teammate who then has to obviously do a follow-up shot for them to do additional damage. Of course, this will work well against bosses, but in my opinion, they need to change it so you can, like, ping rather than shoot the target in the head. So you can like just mark the target with like, whatever the ping button was. So, you just ping the enemy, and then they'll be marked for all your team, and they'll know that, as soon as you hit that deadite, that, you're going to do additional damage. So I think that's what they should do. I don't think, marking them with a headshot is very beneficial. I think it's, kind of going out of the way of, getting some benefit from that type of perk. And again, with level 25, we also get mark target healing. Headshots mark the target. A follow-up shot from the teammate will restore a percentage of damage back to them as health. Again, it works the same, and the damage restored as health is 30%. I say it works exactly the same. I much prefer if you could just mark the target regardless if you actually have a headshot landed on them or not. But yeah, I really like this character. I think he's really good. Like, his first 2 perks are great. I had a lot of fun when I did play as him, and I didn't play him in the second beta, but the first beta I played him a lot. But I really like that he does the heavy melee damage as, an effect to heal the rest of the team. Like I said, I didn't really get to experience that for myself or how well that's balanced, but yeah, like I said, I'd love to see and give this guy a lot more in his kit than this mark target nonsense with the headshots. Like I said, I just want the ability to mark the target without having to hit a headshot, and I think that'll be really good, Alright, so we're moving on to the second person in the support class, and, probably is around the community. I've seen a lot of people playing as Cheryl, and Cheryl is really good. I think it's because of her main ability. Her main ability is just insane. It's really, it really helps out the team. But, it was nice to see people actually picking her because, when I was getting into this game and, learning about it, I was really worried that everyone was just going to want to play as Ashe all the time, whether that would be Leader Ashe or, Army of Darkness Ashe, etc. So I was kind of worried that everyone would want to play as Ashe all the time, but it was nice to see people picking Cheryl. People were actually insta-locking her as well because, she's a really good player, a really good character, sorry. So, anyways, let's jump into her kit. So, the first one is Healing Touch, and when you activate this ability to create a healing zone for you and your teammates, and the healing zone is like this green aura that you'll see. It's not massive by any means, but, if you stand next to her, you'll get the benefits. Healing per second is 80. The duration is 6 seconds and the cooldown is 90 seconds. So a lot of people kind of thought this was actually nerfed, and I thought it was nerfed as well from the first bit, because when I was playing with Raka, who plays Cheryl all the time, he was putting it down and it didn't feel like it was giving us the same benefits as it did to the first beta. But I don't know if they adjusted the health on some survivors or if they adjusted the the overall health on survivors so it was healing them a bit slower. But they actually didn't nerf this. Looking at the stats from the first beta, it was exactly the same. The only thing that they didn't have in the first beta was the 90-second cooldown, but that wasn't listed, but it still had a cooldown, if that makes sense. Obviously it had the 90-second cooldown in the first beta, but they didn't have it listed on the actual perk itself. But yeah, like I said, it was it felt different, but going by the stats, they didn't nerf it, and a lot of people thought they did, but like I said, what they could have done is buffed the survivor health pool up. And that way, if they did that, then obviously the healing per second wouldn't be as effective, if that makes sense, So let's move on to her second perk anyways, which is called Cola Coaster. And basically, you can carry more Shemp's Cola and start the match with an extra one in your inventory. So, I think that's a really good one because, like I said, every time you drink a Shemp's Cola near a teammate, they get the benefits as well, which is really nice. And you also, you also start with an extra one in your inventory, so being able to carry more, it doesn't actually tell you how much more you can actually carry. I imagine it's just +1 or something, but, like I said, there is more perks in the skill tree that you can spec in to carry more cola and have, the cola, be more effective every time you take it, that type of thing. So, like I said, I think it's a good perk, and she's basically going to be like the pack rat for supplies. She'll be able to throw out colas for people. Like, you don't have to take the cola yourself. What you can do is drop it on the ground, ping it, and someone else can pick it up as well. So, it's a really beneficial perk for the team. And like I said, I think she's probably, I want to say either her or the next guy is like the best support in the game. It's so hard to pick between the two because I really like both of their kits, but her perk that you unlock at level 10, which is her third perk, is drinking a Shemp's Cola partially reduces your fear and the fear of nearby teammates. Teammates' fear reduction is 25. So if we go back to Evil Dead 1 Ash, his ability reduces it by 50, which I think's pretty good, but it has a 60-second cooldown. This one obviously reduces it by 25, and it doesn't really have a cooldown. You can drink as many Shemp's Colas as you want as long as you've got loads. But it's a really nice perk because if you're not even paying attention to fear levels, because usually playing support you'll pay attention to the health bars a lot on your team. you know, even drinking a Shem's Cola is going to be really beneficial for both things here. So it's going to give them health, and it's also going to reduce their fear levels, which I think is a really, really good perk. And you unlock that at level 10. Alright, moving on to level 25. Now, once you get her at level 25, you're going to have a lot of skills to put into her skill tree, which is going to make her really good for healing. And at level 25, it makes it even better because the perk is called Contact Healing. When you drink a Shem's Cola, nearby teammates will also gain health. Teammates' health recovered is 100. So, again, you already gain quite a lot of health when people do take the Shem's, like drink the Shem's Cola near you, or, you know, if you do it nearby to other teammates as you're playing as Cheryl. So, you know, I noticed when I was playing as Pablo, you know, and I was running around next to people, I was drinking the Shem's Cola, their bar was going up quite a lot. But, you know, having this as her 4th perk, it's like, it's absolutely insane, to be honest. Like, like, when she's drinking a cola, I think it's going to pretty much max out everyone's health on the team. And, you know, she's going to carry a lot of these as well. And it's also going to reduce the fear on the teammates as well. So, you know, looking at Cheryl, again, I think she is probably the best support. But I don't want to knock off Pablo yet, because I think Pablo is also very beneficial for the team. And we'll get into Pablo now. But yeah, Cheryl, you know, if you're looking at main support class, you know, a lot of people probably already know this. And are probably looking to play as Cheryl Williams. And, you know, I can't wait to see her cosmetics as well, because I've actually seen a few cosmetics being leaked about her for her, which I think look really cool as well. So, you know, Cheryl's going to have a really good kit, and, you know, you're going to gain a lot of points playing as her as well. You're going to level up fast. So, you know, if you kind of want to, you know, level up your characters quick, then Cheryl is probably one of, you know, if you're not great at doing damage, or if, you know, if you don't want to be that type of person that's going to be doing the main damage on the team, then Cheryl's going to be really, really helpful in the healing side of things. So anyways, let's move on to Pablo. All right, so this is the support that I played the most of in the betas. I love Pablo from the TV show. I think he's awesome. But anyways, I really liked his kit, and it wasn't really just because I love Pablo and, like, I like playing as Pablo is the reason why I played him. I really like his kit that he has and what he's spec'd around. So anyways, his first perk is called Gift from El Brujo Especial. Activate this skill to begin creating an amulet and then drop it to the ground on completion. And it has a 120-second cooldown. So this is really good. I really like the shield mechanic in this game because, you know, it's really beneficial to a lot of different characters like Army of Darkness, Ash, you know, Henry the Red, these types of characters that, you know, if you buff their shield levels up, they're going to be really, really difficult to kill. This is why I really like Pablo, because he can throw the amulets out for people. They can pick them up and they can use them themselves. Or what you can do is pick it up yourself, use it next to those, and they'll still gain a little bit of benefit from the shield. You know, they don't get a full bar, but they get like a third of the bar, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, it's a really nice ability. And, you know, if you the first thing I do is, like, I'll spawn in as Pablo, I'll drop it on the floor, and I pick it up for myself, you know. And, you know, if you keep an eye on this, you can just do this throughout the game, and you'll end up with a lot of amulets, which is really good. Okay, so his second one is called Infernal Camouflage. Demons are no longer able to detect you using demon vision, and I think this is a really good one because, you know, being a support character, you kind of want to stay a bit hidden from the demon, you know. And, you know, you kind of just want to pop into fights when it matters the most, you know. Like, when I was playing Pablo, I kind of played as him, like, as a ranged character. Like, I was just popping the Deadites off with, like, the revolver or whatever I had. And then, you know, he was good for melee as well, but what I was, you know, planning on doing was, you know, just staying hidden, wasn't taking much damage myself. And then I'd run into the fight. I know I'd pop an amulet or a cola. And then, you know, that way I was able to, you know, benefit the team, and then I was just, you know, running back to my little corner while the fight was going on, and I was just helping the team out with some damage with the pistols and stuff. So, you know, I think he's really good. You know, he's kind of like a stealth support type of character, which is why I really like playing as him. And his third perk that you unlock at level 10 is called Legacy of El Brujo, and begin the match with an additional amulet. Again, I think it's a really good one. I think you start with one amulet already, and then, you know, with this perk, he'll then get another amulet, so he starts with 2, and then you can throw an amulet on the floor, so then you have 3 amulets that you can start the game off right away, and that's really good at early game. You know, it's going to give your team a lot of health, especially if, you know, if people stick together. And like I said, if you have an Army of Darkness Ash in your team, then you're going to be laughing because, you know, every time this guy uses an amulet, once he gets his pink fuck level maxed out on shield, every time he uses an amulet, there's 2 bars of shield already regen. So, throwing these out for Army of Darkness Ash, this is why I really like him, because I think, if you put in him with Army of Darkness Ash, Lord Arthur, maybe it's Henry the Red is the 4th one, there's just going to be so much health and damage there. It's going to be absolutely insane. And anyways, let's move on to his 4th one, which I think is pretty good. And it's called Shamanic Protection. Your shield bar will gradually recover over time until you at least have 1 full bar. So again, it kind of has that auto regen for his shield as well. I'm not sure if this is going to happen, if he has like higher bar levels. Maybe if he only has 1 bar, then, it will fill up. But I imagine, it does make sense that, it's going to fill up at least 1 bar every time. So just say you had like you had 3 shield bars and the 3rd shield bar was slightly depleted. I do think that will regen it. I never got this guy to level 25 to test it out, but again, I kind of like that as a kit as well. So that way you don't have to use the amulets on yourself all the time, and that way you kind of throw them out for teammates as well, because he will automatically regen some of his shield regardless. And again, once you use amulets as well on yourself, teammates do get the benefit from it as well. So again, I think the support class characters might be looked over a bit, because a lot of people in these types of games, they always want to go, all right, I want to play damage all the time. I want to play range. And like I said, it was nice to see people actually lock in Cheryl and, Pablo and like characters like that. Like I said, I can't pick between Cheryl and Pablo, because like I said, they both have really good kits. Obviously, they both focus on different things. And maybe Cheryl is slightly more OP because of the increased in health that she gives, but at the same time you don't want to overlook Pablo, because he really brings the strength to the shields and that side of the game, because he can obviously spec around doing health as well. So what you can do is carry more Shem's Cola, have more effective percentage from the Shem's Cola given to your teammates as well. You can give reinforced amulets. Amulets will do like as you have a shield, it will do reduced damage and that type of thing. So it's kind of difficult to pick between the two who is the best support. But either way, you're gonna have a lot of fun playing these characters. And yeah, so this has been my class breakdown for support on Evil Dead the game. This has been my last class breakdown. It's been great making these for everyone. Hopefully you guys found them informative. If you haven't seen the other ones yet, hit that sub button, go check out them on my channel. They're very informative. I go over all the perks, giving them a breakdown for each character and, what to expect playing these types of characters. I think what I will look to do is maybe looking at doing some demon ones as well. I'm going to, possibly make some, survivor tier list videos as well. And maybe go over, I'm actually going to do like a tips and tricks one, what to expect once the game launches, what you should be looking out for, because I put a lot of hours into this game over the beta weekends, and I feel like I'm already a bit experienced at the game. I don't know everything, obviously, like nobody knows everything about this game, but the time I spent playing the beta, I know quite a lot, and how you should be playing out games, etc. Obviously, I can't show my own gameplay, which would have been really beneficial for those types of things. But yeah, this has been really fun doing these. I've really enjoyed doing these. And like I said, if you haven't checked out the other class breakdowns, obviously go and check those out in the playlist in the description, or you can go on my channel and find them there. And obviously hit that sub button for more Evil Dead content. I'm going to be literally making this game. We're like 10 days away from release, which I honestly can't fucking wait. Like, I'm just so excited for it. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you who have supported me through doing these videos, I really, really appreciate it, because, I wasn't sure if people would like this type of thing, but honestly, I've enjoyed doing these. I spent a lot of time making all the little graphics and stuff. I think it's been really beneficial for the channel going forward as well. So it's got a lot of people hyped for the game and, checking out all the different characters and stuff. And again, all this could change by launch, but, going by the beta, this is what their current kits are. And, I could potentially be making these yet again once the game launches. But, yeah, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixels, you've been my awesome viewers, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.